Hello and welcome to my garden on Sunday, April 19th, 2020. We are about 4 weeks into the stay-at-home order, so I decided to show you my garden today. Now, we've got a smoke tree here that's just starting to leaf out. Typically it's grown as a bush, but it's a tree. I typically like standard things like that. So, so we're panning down here in this side garden here. I have about 7 hydrangeas that are coming up. I've got a variegated leaf red twig dogwood that's leafed out. It's looking really pretty. And boxes of mail coming out of my recyclable container flying around. Several rows of Sharons that will be coming out later with whitish pink flowers. And then the red leafed bushes are Weigelias, and they'll be getting pink flowers later in the spring. This tree here is just starting to leaf out, and there's a few buds that you can see here. And maybe in 3 weeks, it'll be lush with clusters of white drooping flowers, and that's going to be really pretty. But right now, the pride of my garden is the 2 pink red buds. I'm really enjoying them. We watch them from the window, and we're really enjoying this fake grass that we put in last September. The dogs love it, and it really cuts down on mud on my deck. So I'm happy about that. I have some coral bells here, the red-leafed short plants, and they don't do well here. It gets too hot, but I really like them. I'm going to try to figure out where to move them. This is Pinky Winky hydrangea. That'll be really pretty in a month or so. We have this kind of grassy area that we haven't done anything with yet, but we have some ideas of what we're going to do. And I have 2 pretty quince bushes, this orange flowered one in the foreground, and then on the other side of the wall there's a red flowered quince bush. And I'm really enjoying my daffodils. The daffodils have been great this season. They've been blooming for about a month, and now they're complemented by those beautiful tulips that are blooming. I'm really happy with the tulips this year. I love that color combination. I have several pots of pansies planted. I always love pansies. And oh, this is something that I just did in the fall. I planted these bushes, the one the dog peed on, but I'll have to replace that. But these little bushes, they got yellow buds in, I want to say, December or January, and they started blooming in February, and they've been blooming this white bloom ever since. And I'm looking forward to when they get to be a little bit bigger. My red maple is leafing out. That'll be very pretty in a bit. Have this whatever it is a rebloomer, and it gets shockingly orange flowers. It's very pretty. It's an azalea, a reblooming azalea. So I'm happy about that. Now we're going to walk over here to get a close-up shot of the garden. You see I have a few lavender plants coming up. There's my quince, close-up of my quince. And then I've got these lavender plants, and in front of them, this year, this fall, I haven't seen them in bloom yet, but I planted those spiky little green things over there and slightly to the left. They are ice plants. So they should tumble over the wall and produce bright colored flowers all summer. I'm a little disappointed in my Phlox subulata, which is this creeping phlox with a few tiny pink buds. I'm hoping that that's going to crawl over the wall as well and be lush with flowers, but I don't have much in the way of flowers right now. My crepe myrtle looks dead, but I took a cutting off the top and it's live. It breaks dormancy late But last year it died to the ground, so I had to wait till it grew up from the ground again. But this year it's still alive up there, so I'm happy about that. I've got some daylilies in here, and I've got several, like maybe 10 blue salvia. The greenery is coming up, and those will bloom pretty heavily, bright blue all summer. And in the back there, I have phlox that's tall, and that'll be pretty. And right here, I'm really happy about this. This is a lilac tree, and it is budding out right now, and in a couple weeks it'll be all purple flowers. And so my friend's dad grew that from a lilac. It's typically a bush, but you know, this is a lilac tree. I cut my knockout rose back, red knockout rose back, and it's got all kinds of red new growth, so it looks very healthy. I'm happy about that. Here's some more of the ice plant that I planted in the fall, along with this cute little creeper with a white flower. More disappointing Vox subulata. And oh, there's some more salvia, but I have a lot of lilies that are starting to come up. Most of them are stargazer lilies, and I really like them because they're a pop of tall color and they don't take up a lot of garden space once they're gone. So, you know, you can squeeze a lot of them in. Cut my red butterfly bush way back this year, and I'm going to try to keep it a little bit smaller than it was last year. This crazy little thing was just sitting in a little plastic pot for the last 2 years out here, and it lived, so I took pity on it and decided to plant it. What else do I have?
Explain this.
Oh, well, the reason we have this fence here is not for decorative purposes. It's to keep overactive dogs out of my flowers. So that's why we have the fence there. I typically wouldn't have put that there for decorative purposes. So my pink, this will be all pink flowers. And then when they start to die back, I shear the whole thing and it flowers again. Oh, this is a cute little rose bush my husband brought me from the grocery store a few years ago. Maybe 4 years ago. I think I brought it from our other house, and it keeps living, so I'm happy about that. Yellow knockout rose in the background is doing really well this year. Last year it looked kind of pathetic. And I have these bulbs, I don't remember what they're called, but you can see them, the greenery popping up. They get tall stems with a globe flowers. I can't remember what they're called. Now over here, I've got two very disappointing. Oh yes, my ajuga. I love ajuga, and I have some in the front yard too. So I'm humoring that along. That'll get really pretty purple spikes in a few weeks. I'm disappointed in my two bushes over by Cassie's mural. One's a male and one's a female winterberry, and you wouldn't know which was which because I don't think I got any berries last year. Very disappointing. And then on this wall here, this was a climbing rose that Ian had at a rental property, and it was laying flat, and he said, "Mom, it's a nice plant, but it's going to get destroyed because nobody's going to take care of it. It's just laying flat on the ground." So I dug it up and replanted it here. I thought it was a goner because we lost so much of it, but we really babied it, and there it was. So now I'm going to give you a long shot of the garden. We're opening our pool up Tuesday, so that'll make it look a lot cuter. But basically, this is my garden on April 19th, 2020. And thank you for watching.